Carter, come and join us. There's too much women on this deck for Skaggs to handle.
It's never gonna happen.
It's a mysterious dancing trauma in his past.
Let me get a drink. Can I have a drink, buddy? You didn't try the cake? I don't like the cake. Try the cake. I don't feel comfortable eating your cake. Have you ever seen anyone go for seconds on that cake? Cake's not good. It's not a good cake.
Wine glass only, I'm afraid.
Are you serious?
Well, if all goes well tomorrow, I give you my word that each one of you will be sufficiently hammered by sunset, so as not to be able to recall your name or your birthday.
Y tus trailers, visita mi canal.
To Dr. Susan, without whom none of us would have discovered that we're unfit for the world.
Yes, speech.
Come on,
Speech. Come on. We want to speak. We want to speak.
speech.
Thank you, but I think we should all go back to work now.
Oh,
really? No, really?
That's not a good speech.
Really?
Speech.
I know that I've probably been a nightmare to work with the last few months.
Oh, here.
But I didn't seem to know how else to get the job done. Impatience is a weakness I've had my whole life. So I apologize. For the next time. Anyway, if the test is successful tomorrow, it will be because of all of you. And someday, if you look back on this, I hope you remember that you did something that had never been done before. And I hope that you're as proud then as I am of you now. Preacher, the cake was exquisite, as usual.
No, it's not.
Ophelia, my second and most expensive wife, just as you began to enjoy hating her,
Y tus trailers,
she did
visita mi
something
canal.
nice. It's 4 glorious years of whiplash.
Good morning, Aquatica. It's another gloomy day here in the beautiful Pacific. So wake yourselves up. Baby, come on and get your butts out of bed. That's right, because it's time to save the world. And I got just the music to do it by. Coming on at ya.
Promise me you'll never marry me. Even if I beg you to, and I will, I'll be a fool not to. I have to be strong for both of us.
I think I'm pregnant.
How do you feel about a floral pattern for the everyday dishes?
I hate that song. Take it as a compliment. Most people eat bites. Oh my.
Oh, man. You gotta bring my brain back to life.
A hangover is just not having enough fluid in your body to run your Krebs cycle, which is exactly the same thing as dying of thirst. So dying of thirst would feel like the hangover that finally kills you.
Jim, shut up, please.
So what's up with you, man?
Storms are knocking the hell out of the coast. There's no boats, no choppers from landside today.
No crew?
I'm sorry, guys.
Shit.
Quitus Trailers, visita mi canal.
Well, we're 12 hours into Gen 2's final cycle. Don't do it tonight, the test window closes. That's 6 weeks before we can try again.
We don't have 6 weeks.
And the Lord reached down from above and took hold of me. He pulled me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemies. When I was in trouble, they attacked me. But the Lord protected me. He helped me out of danger.
Really? When was his birthday? Huh? What did he like on his pizza? You know, his father died when he went home at Christmas. He said he didn't tell you because he knew it would distract you, but I know he didn't tell you because he knew it wouldn't distract you at all.
It's gotta be 150 feet. You make it? 60 seconds, no air. Yeah. I can't do it.
Come on, Skies.
No, I can't. I can't do it. No. No!
Come on, baby.
I can't do it.
Come on.
I can't do it.
Quitus Trailers, visita mi canal.
I'm sorry.
Panel 6 and 8, right?
6 and 8.
Stay there.
Okay.
Back before you know it.
Okay. You come back. Okay.
The following 5 scenes were deleted from the final film. In this first scene, we are at the birthday party of McAllisters at the facility. This scene takes place in the first quarter of the film. And at this point, we added these scenes into the story when we were developing the screenplay in order to deepen the character relationships and show a little more about what was going on with these people. And in this scene,
I don't feel comfortable eating your cake.
Preacher
Have you ever seen anyone go for seconds?
and Scoggins are talking about the cake that he had made for McAllister. And we established that Scoggins is a complainer, doesn't like Preacher's cake, and then we paid that off later on in the movie. In a couple of other scenes, they continued talking about that cake. But in the final end, we felt that we had to move along faster here, and that the payoffs of the cake conversation later on didn't quite tonally fit the picture, because quite serious things were taking place, and characters going back to the conversation just didn't cut it.
Thank you, but I think we should all go back to work now.
And here's a continuation of the scene, which actually I liked very much, where McAllister's character, played by Saffron Burrows, is giving a little birthday speech to her comrades. She's talking about how hard everybody has worked to accomplish this, and how tough she has been on them, pushing them this far.
Quitus Trailers,
This is a
visita
tricky
mi
thing,
canal.
because when I put the whole film together, I felt that she obviously was the evil genius. She was the mother of Frankenstein, the Frankenstein's monster. She had to pay for it with her life in the end of the film. And this speech almost humanizes her too much. We took it out for 2 reasons. One, not to have this overly warm and sympathetic moment with her. Secondly, just because of time. Because again, at this point, we needed to get to the meat of the story sooner. And it sounds cruel that we, in a way, made her a little colder and less likable. But when we saw the whole movie put together, it just made the character a little too conflicting to have this scene in it.
The preacher, the cake was exquisite, as usual.
No, it's not.
Ophelia, my second and most
I love Stellan Skarsgård. He's such a great actor and just a great person.
She do something nice. It's 4 glorious years of whiplash.
This scene belongs in our morning montage where different characters are seen waking up. Here, actually, Sam's character was listening to some loud music. Brenda's every morning routine was to play this music and wake up all the people at the facility. And here we reveal a little bit more about what is going on between these people with Janice and Whitlock in bed together. Unfortunately, I had to cut this down too because it just felt like we have to move along with the story, and some of this information that you have is actually just a little too much for the audience to tolerate. Because we tell that Janice is actually pregnant, and considering that later on she gets killed by the shark, it just totally didn't feel right. And that's the adjustment we made.
Feel about a floral pattern for the everyday dishes.
This is another part of the morning montage. Here's a little more stuff that happens between the parrot and the characters, and some more stuff between Samuel's character and LL.
Take it as a compliment. Most people eat bites.
Since this wasn't a finished scene, really, you don't hear what the parrot would have said, but the parrot would have probably said something very obnoxious, as usual.
You gotta bring my brain back to life.
This sequence was written into the film, again, to tell more about the characters, the dynamics between them, and just create that sort of a warm feeling between them. And here's just another piece of the cakewalk between LL and Scoggins.
No choppers from landside today.
No crew?
I'm sorry, guys.
Here we establish the fact that the storm prevented another crew from coming back, and we tell that they can't do the test with the sharks because of the lack of crew. And then they decide to go ahead with it anyhow. Again, we felt that some of this information was unnecessary, and for purposes of moving along the story faster, we cut it. And same thing applies to this scene here, where Preacher is wandering in the flooded corridors. This scene used to go somewhere before he finds the men's magazine and then encounters the shark. And I like this scene, but Preacher also uses prayer later on in the story, and for all these reasons we decided here to cut the scene and keep the pace a little faster.
He helped me out of danger.
Here we are at the wet entry, and we have a little emotional moment between Janice and McAllister.
His birthday.
They are talking about Whitlock, who just got killed by the shark, smashed against the window in the lab. Janice is attacking McAllister and accusing her of being so insensitive and only caring about her own goals.
It would distract you, but I know he didn't tell you because he knew it wouldn't distract you at all.
Here we felt that while this was interesting character information, again, for the sake of keeping the story moving, it was unnecessary. This is a little scene between Scoggins and Carter before they dive into the lab, where then ultimately Scoggins meets his maker. And we felt that it was clear that Scoggins is afraid of water and going underwater and doesn't want to really continue. And I think that was clear enough the way we have it now in the film, where we don't have this scene and we just move along things faster. This becomes unnecessary, this moment. Often in action films, you really have a screenplay that is unnecessarily long, ends up in the editing phase. You sort of pick your best moments and keep the movie as tight as possible. The danger is that your characters suffer because studio never wants you to cut any of the action out, because that's where the big production value is.